What in the Final Destination did I just fucking read? How I died and entered another timeline. This happened nearly 10 years ago on the way up the mountain to Big Bear Lake along Highway 38, where the road narrows and the mountains decide how much mercy you get. 2 lanes, no divider. One way up, one way down. Guardrails that feel symbolic more than functional. A drop so steep you don't look at it for long. The sun was low, late enough to blur the edges of the world, early enough that everything still felt normal. My boyfriend, now husband, were driving, talking, existing. Then the road bent around a blind curve. An RV appeared first in the opposite lane, too big, too close. And beside it, completely in our lane, a lifted black truck was forcing to pass the RV where no passing should ever happen. There was no space, no shoulder, no turnout, no time. Slamming on the brakes, that's when the voice came in my mind. No, gas, gas, gas. It wasn't a thought. It wasn't panic. It didn't sound like me. It was loud, sharp, absolute, like something that had already seen the outcome and rejected it. So I floored the accelerator, pedal to the metal. My boyfriend screamed and grabbed the handle above the windows, eyes clenched shut so hard his face contorted. I remember thinking calmly, this is going to fucking suck. The truck's grill filled my windshield, my full eye view, black metal grill, headlights, the California license plate. The certainty of impact, a head-on collision, was going to happen and there was no escape. But then, nothing. No impact, no sound, no airbags deployed, no pain. Just a black void. Not unconsciousness, absence, like a skipped frame in reality. And then light. The same sun, the same road, the same moment, but everything felt different. Only now, the truck was behind us. I saw it in the rearview mirror, perfectly aligned in the lane as if it had always been there. As if we had passed through it, or around something that no longer existed. We pulled over immediately, obviously shook. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I cried without sound, the kind that empties you out. My husband got out of the car and bent forward, breathing like he had just surfaced from deep water. Then, a car I recognized as the car that was sometimes close behind us, and the other time a good distance behind us, slowed behind us. A woman was in the driver's seat, passed at a crawl, staring not at the road, but at us. Her face was drained, hollowed, and pale, like she just saw a ghost. She didn't stop. She didn't ask if we were okay. She just rolled up her window. And she drove by. She crossed herself. The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. We checked the car. No dents, no scratches, no broken glass, nothing. No sign of any kind of impact. There is no version of physics where that outcome makes sense. There is no rational explanation for how a head-on collision at that speed simply didn't occur. I don't know what that voice was. I don't know where we were for those seconds. I don't know why we were allowed back. I don't even know if we did come back. All I know is this. Something intervened. Something decided no, and the mountain went quiet again, as if nothing happened. I know that people believe in different timelines where we are the same person just living another life, and I believe that happened that day. Things just aren't the same for me as they were before that happened. I don't know how to explain it. It's just different. Some stories end with answers. This one ends with silence. First of all, OP, thank you so much for sending in this story. Secondly, if you're watching this on the YT and it's in a compilation video, they do not have permission to utilize my content. Please report it and or find me, Spooky Scary Ghost Stories, on all platforms. I do have content posted that they are not stealing, so there is plenty for you to find, and you can always message me and let me know, and I will report it. Honestly and truly, this is totally a Final Destination moment for me. I can understand the concept that there is this timeline where you jumped, right? I can absolutely see that, but I can also understand that you absolutely could have had a moment of clarity where your subconscious saw what was coming and threw you through a literal loop so that it didn't happen to you. Now, I do understand that in the Final Destinations, she's just foreseeing the events and they still occurred. However, I do feel like because there is a timeline jump here, that the possibility of it being a Final Destination moment where you are still able to jump that timeline is definitely possible. Do you know what I mean? I also love how this was written. It was written like an Ellen Hopkins book. If you ever read Ellen Hopkins, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. The way that the pages look like poems, the way that each breath and each sentence really just captivates you, and you get this amazing imagery, especially if you're someone that can imagine in your mind, which not everyone is, and I'm sorry for those of you who can't, but you get this insane imagery if you're someone that is artistic and able to imagine things that is just so palpable, almost like you're in that moment and you feel exactly everything that's happening within the moments of, I'm about to take my last breath. These types of stories are ones that I would dedicate as stories worth living for. And the reason why I would say that is because if it wasn't for that timeline jump, if it wasn't for that glitch in the matrix, if it wasn't for you skipping one reality to go into another one because it probably wasn't your time, like, it is a once in a lifetime thing to ever occur, and it's just so special and so incredible. And I can only imagine how disconnected you must feel from this new reality that you've been placed into. It wasn't yours to start with, it was that version of you. So it's almost like Final Destination meets The Island. You remember that movie where they made copies of people, so then that way if something happened to the famous person or the person who was super important, they could take what they needed from the other version of them. That's kind of what it's like. It's like you replace that version in this reality. So it makes me wonder, where did that version go? One version left, one version transferred. So where did that version go? It's not like you were a hollowed out shell in that version of reality. They also had to have skipped. Something had to have happened. A time shift had to have happened. Absolutely amazing. I loved this story. I loved every second of reading it. It was very captivating, very palpable, very imaginative. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it was written too well. It's fake. Shut up. We don't care. Really cannot wait to see what everyone has to say in the comments. This one was fantastic. Not that everyone's stories are not fantastic. It just is one of those ones that we don't hear all the time. And I absolutely loved reading this. Beautiful for a Friday. Alright, I hope you guys have a wonderful freaking stinking Friday, because it's Friday and I can't wait to keep posting videos and loving on you guys because I love you. Okay, bye.